Probably should have worked it out a little better first. I say it a lot. If you're thinking about going live, just dive in and do it. And don't worry about getting everything perfect. Well, it worked out well, unfortunate. But I had no idea what the lighting would be like. Look at this. Look at this. It's constant. It is constant. What the lighting would be like. What the angle would be like. The nice thing about it is when you're as good looking as I am, whether the lighting's bad or the angle's off, it usually comes out just fine. Hello, Claudia. Hello, Sarah B. Lucas, Blue Wave, Michelle, Angela, Child of God, David P. Ober, or David Pober, I don't know. Patricia. Oh, you have to bear with me. Go lay down, Holly. I just don't have any left. Go, lay down. I don't have any left. Lay down. Your bed's right there. Don't have any left. Hello, Myra from Tampa, Florida. Claudia, it's coming. Gary Tuttle, Robert Montgomery, Jack. Maybe if I slid this table a little closer, I wouldn't have to slouch low. But good afternoon, and good afternoon to you. Jack, a longtime watcher, says, Happy Saturday, Ken, the original Saturday broadcast. Yeah, it used to be every Saturday at 8 a.m. Actually, I've been doing, my name's Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing just about 5 years now. I live in Naperville, Illinois, Blue Wave. It's a show I've been doing for just about 5 years, and it is a show I started 5 years ago, ironically, when I was going through a lot of struggles, and I started going live on Facebook as soon as I woke up, and I'd have my very first sip of coffee, and I do it live on Facebook just to see what happens, and I knew I wanted to pour my heart out to the world. I don't know if the world cared a whole heck of a lot or not, but I did. And my audience grew, and I had some fun. And about 2.5 years ago, I moved it over to TikTok. It's gone through a whole bunch of changes. For a long time, I was doing it Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning. And I like doing it so much, I started doing it 7 days a week. And now I don't do it 7 days a week. Now I do it as much as I can. I do a stay at home with Ken, a first zip video. I post a lot of videos, and as best I can, I have a lot of fun with it, and hopefully I'm making some sort of difference as I tell my story day by day or week by week or what have you. But anyway, you remember the streak. For those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And to be honest with you, I made this pot of coffee, I don't know, 3.5 hours. Long enough that the coffee maker didn't do its automatic shut off, you know what I mean? And so the little light was on, and it was still there, but it's probably well roasted. And so I'm somewhat hesitant to take my first sip in about an hour and a half. I've had a crazy hour and a half. I stay at home with my two little ones, Augie and Eve. I also have 3 stepkids, 2 of which are in their teens and are sleeping and don't offer this guy very much help when dealing with crazy babies and chaos and barking dogs and breakfast and lunch is made. And it can be stressful, and I just got through a whirlwind of it and just laid my babies down for a nap. And I'm hoping that they're sleeping, but even if they're not, even if they're screaming bloody murder, I retreated all the way to the back of my house. I'm in my sunroom, as maybe you can tell, and I'm looking forward to having my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. pretty good still. Pretty good still. I talked about it this morning. I was completely out of coffee yesterday late morning. We had some grounds in two different bags that weren't my favorite coffees each. They made two separate pots of weak coffee, which I don't like, and ran out to the store yesterday. And I usually buy Starbucks, but I'm more price sensitive than brand sensitive. And Starbucks was not on sale. Starbucks was a horrible price, although they had the sale tag on the aisle. It wasn't even close to a sale, and I opted for a couple different ones: an 8 o'clock coffee and a Cameron's coffee. And I'm right now drinking the Cameron's vanilla hazelnut, and it's quite nice. So I'm gonna have another sip. Hello, Tad Z. Thank you for joining, Roberta. Oh, I don't know how long I'm going to talk to you. But again, I was so overwhelmed. And I'll tell you what, this morning I was near tears. My house was a mess. My baby, my littlest one, who's just coming up on 1.5, had diaper rash issues and was crying and fussy, and just felt overwhelmed and like I didn't know what to do. And one thing led to another, and through the help of counseling of friends, I kept going and kept putting my feet in front of the other. And when I walked into the sunroom, this is a hide-a-bed type couch, it was out. And I kind of chuckled, and there were blankets all over, and it was still a mess. And I thought how important the one foot in front of the other thought was to me today, because I got some work done. Broke open a couple of boxes of baby gates that have been laying around our house and cluttering up the place and making a mess for too long. I installed them, and let me tell you, I'm not super strong at installation of anything. And but got them in, and all the while was juggling two crazy little babies. Fed them lunch, fed my youngest stepson, who's 9, lunch, and we had pancakes for lunch. Oh yeah, I'm not afraid to do that. Oh no, I'm not. I'll do it for dinner too. And ran upstairs, found the empty bottles, and I'll tell you, when you have kids screaming at you and you got a dog sticking its face at you all day long, sometimes it can feel more than this soldier can handle. But I got them down. I got them their bottles. I put the bed away. I put a big pile of blankets right behind the phone so the room would look neat. And I pushed live, and here I am. So thank you for joining me today. So let's have a little more coffee. Holly, come on. Come on. Come on. Go lay down. I love you so much. I love you so much. But I just can't pet you constantly. Not constantly. Look, I don't know if you guys know. Look, there's her nose. Do you see the nose right there? Do you see the nose? She knows. For a while, I was separated from my wife, and I was living in a house with just Holly and I, a tiny little house. And I was going live all the time. And somebody says you're beautiful. There you are. Here's that pile of blankets I was talking about. This is our sunroom. This is our sunroom. This is where we live. There I am. And yeah, but she and I were living together, and she loves her dada very much, and her dada loves her very much. But I think we almost developed a unhealthy codependent relationship during our time together. When I left, she'd be barking like crazy. If my car pulled it back in, she'd be barking like crazy. I don't know, I like to think she struggles from anxiety like her dad a little bit, and doesn't like when he's gone, but I'm sure that's part of it. But either way, I was going live in this tiny little home for about a year, and she knew it, and she knew I was going to be stuck in one spot relatively, and I was going to be talking to my phone, and I'd have two hands free. So she's gotten quite accustomed to getting a little extra love while I am talking to you guys. Jack says, beautiful sunroom. Thank you, Jack. It really is. for a while, it's probably still my favorite room in the house. We kind of let it. I don't know. It's not as baby proofed as the living room, so we haven't been using as much. So it's not as clean as I like it. But it was the main room we used in the house. If I was going to watch TV, I'd come out here. Again, I am a huge fan of these. I don't know. It was almost a 3-season room for a while, but we now have a vent there, so it keeps it fairly warm in the winter. And what was I going to say? What was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, I'm a huge fan, and I just can't tell you how nice it is. It's so pretty here, and we're, again, windows on 3 sides, and I don't know. If I was to buy another house and had a similar setup, I'd make sure I put a sunroom on the back because it is really nice. Did you and my wife find our way back to each other? Yes, we did, and I promise you it's not, there's hard times. There are hard times, and I'm 55 years old. I was divorced and been in a whole bunch of relationships, and I've never been, hello, RJ, I don't think I've ever been that good at relationships. I'm a great friend. I'm a great fellow worker or employee. I'm friendly. I'm outgoing. I'm a great stranger. But I think relationships are tough for me because I like things my way and don't always fully understand other perspectives. So when things aren't my way and somebody's presenting another perspective that makes no sense to me, I get confused and it can be trouble. And I know in my life it's been easier to retreat than stick it out and work it out and figure a way to keep moving together. And I promise you it's not easy at all. But I think if we can make it work, we have 2 beautiful children that need us. And I don't know, I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that everything goes as smoothly as relationships can. So let's drink a little more coffee to relationships. How about you go lay down? Let my hands be free. Let me be able to dance around like this and not be dedicated. And I'm telling you, I got an amazing amount of love to give. But I'm not the perfect parent. And let me tell you, if I can bitch for a minute, I have 2 babies. One's almost 1.5 and one's almost 3. The 3-year-old is named Augie. He has Down syndrome. So he's a little smaller and a little less developed than a normal 3-year-old would be at this time. And so it's like having 2 babies about the same age that have poopy diapers and that can't talk and that kind of walk but get knocked over and scream and want things. They want things. Dang those babies. Dang those babies want things. But I'm telling you, it's like I have twins. And 4 days a week I stay at home with those 2 and my 3 stepkids. And some days are really hard. And again, this morning, I didn't think it'd be manageable. I was close to tears. I woke up early. I was up at 5 in the morning, and I was stressed out about a whole bunch of things. My baby started squawking around 6. I got him up, and my wife came down an hour or so later. She works on Saturdays and is off to work right now. And immediately I had to take my dog Holly for a walk, and like I said, the house wasn't the way I wanted it to be, and I was feeling overwhelmed and like I couldn't handle it. And I do. Beck says, I hope I have a good support system. I have an amazing support system. God bless me with a whole lot of friends that care about me a whole ton. And I feel when things are tough, I lean heavily. And don't become one of my friends unless you want leaned on heavily. And this morning I was going, messy house. I'm not appreciated. Nobody loves me here. My babies are screaming. My dog just needs to go outside all the time. And various other issues that happen. And I know it's just life. And I know it's just life. And I know some people handle it better than others. And maybe I don't handle it well, but damn it, I don't handle it well. And I'm trying. And again, one thing led to another. And I walked Holly and I fed my babies and we watched some Sesame Street. And instead of stressing about the dishes in the sink and the messy kitchen, I started taking the dishes out of the dishwasher and putting them in, and all of a sudden I started feeling a little better. And there was it's embarrassing, a half installed baby gate on one of the entrances uh, that has been half installed for 2 weeks, and sitting there mocking me, mocking my inner manhood, and uh, and then we had a box leaning against a wall that wasn't even open. And today I said, I hate all this clutter. So I think a huge part of cleaning is putting things where they go. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like if you got I don't know, towel laying on your bed, hang it up in the bathroom, and that's cleaning. You don't have to use chemicals to clean, I mean. So I had two baby gates that were cluttering up my kitchen area that I'd been avoiding installing. And I said, what the heck? I'm going to open this up. I got out my reading glasses. Because the print on the instructions was so small, it had to be written for a mouse. And I'm going, what the heck? And I don't wear my reading glasses that often. I'm 55. And I started wearing them about 10 years ago. And over the last several years, for some reason, I think probably because I read less, I've stopped wearing them as much. But I'm looking at these, and it could have been in hieroglyphics. And I went up and found a pair, and here they are. You want to see what I look like with the reading glasses? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like to wear them down here so I can pop pop my eyes up and look at you this way. But anyway, and again, my stepson, who's 9, came up, and I'm sitting on the floor with the instructions all folded out, wearing my reading glasses so they were finally written in English, although very fine print, small English. And he looked at me, and it's like he didn't recognize me. And he goes, I've never seen you with glasses on. It's kind of funny. Teddy Kizzy, how many days a week am I working out? I work out 3 days a week. Generally, always 2. I mean, if I was sick, I wouldn't, or something, or injured. But I've been doing it we're just started our 7th month. And I work out on Mondays and Fridays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. And those are the 3 days a week that my wife has the day off, and give me an opportunity to get out of the house and get to the gym and take care of some other stuff I need taken care of. And again, Mondays and Fridays, I tend to go pretty hard. Tuesdays, I don't think you should do back-to-back workouts, and I'm not training for anything except to feel a little better and, be a little stronger, maybe even look a little better. And so Tuesdays, I go pretty easy. What music do I like while I work out? RJ, that's a good question, and it's funny you say that because while I'm making pancakes for my 2 little ones, by the way, my 2 little ones aren't that great with the forks. And when you're feeding them pancakes, one thing in life I don't like at all is sticky. Like when the floor is sticky, and then you walk into another room and you spread your stickiness to other areas of the house. Don't like that at all. So giving them pancakes is a dangerous thing. They might chuck them. So I like to feed them the pancakes myself. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between the babies, feeding the pancakes, and also talking to William, trying to get him as many pancakes as he can eat. And he asked me, what are my 5 favorite songs? And I said, wow, that's tough to answer because there's so many different types of music I like. And RJ just asked, what music do I listen to on my workout? And I listen to my Apple Music playlist, which is probably, I don't even know how many songs are on there. I'm going to guess 300 songs on there. And there's songs that are either new songs that I hear and go, wow, this is an awesome song. I want to play this 20 times in a row till I'm sick of it. Or songs from somewhere along my life that meant something to me. For instance, I just added Mental Health by Quiet Quiet Riot the other day. Honestly, I heard it on a TikTok and I go, wow, I used to really like that song. So I added Metal Health. That's my newest addition to my playlist. But I have John Denver on there. I have the theme from, I got Metallica, I got Led Zeppelin, I got uh, George Michael. Careless Whisper is my George Michael song. And it's funny because a couple times I'll be working out and I'll be listening to some cool rock song. Uh, I'm trying to think of one that really stands out. But anyway, some real heavy, cool rock song. And I'm in the middle of a bench press. And all of a sudden, like Careless Whisper by George Michael will go on. And I'll feel, you know, I lose about 50%. All of a sudden, I feel the barbell falls on my chest and crushes me. But so I listen to all sorts of music, and when I work out, and it's interesting. My daughter's, I don't even know if it's interesting. I say that a lot. My daughter suggested a few years ago Lewis Capaldi and another Scottish singer, Before You Go. I don't know who it is, but I don't know, a couple of kind of love sappy songs. And I got them on my playlist, and I hadn't heard them in a while, and I was really enjoying them. I think I may have been singing aloud while working out. And what's funny is you can almost do that these days because everybody has their earbuds in. Everybody has their earbuds in. I was waiting at a doctor's office yesterday, and there's like 6 people, and all of us were staring at our phones. I've been talking to a buddy about addiction a little bit lately and about struggles with various addictions. I know the phone's an addiction, and I know, and I was talking to him and saying it's hard to be in the moment when you're craving another beer or what have you, or a trip to the casino. To be honest, it's hard to be in the moment when you're wondering where your phone is too. And I think part of my stress this morning is I was probably anxious, and my son was climbing on me, probably want my phone. Where did he get that habit from? So he could watch Sesame Street on it, even though we had Sesame Street going on the TV. And I was wanting to see how many views were happening on my videos, or to see if I was picking up any subscribers. And a couple times I at least was purposeful about it today and recognized the addiction that is my phone to me, or social media is, and probably is to a lot of us. And looked at the clock, and it was like 20 to 11 or 10 or something like that. And I go, okay, for 20 minutes, I'm going to put my phone in the kitchen. And Augie and I are going to have to find something else to do. And I think it was pretty peaceful. So let's have a little more coffee. User wants to know, who is Ken Tracy? Ken Tracy is a 55-year-old man from Naperville, Illinois, with a lot of highs and lows in his life. Former realtor, former stockbroker, former waiter, former stock clerk at Target, father of 4, stepdad of 3. I'd say a guy with a big heart and a kind soul, but struggles with things like anxiety, and can get ticked off if he gets too stressed out, and struggles with things, and wakes up in the middle of the night and worries about things and frets about things. He's a stay-at-home dad 4 days a week. He's an aspiring content creator, although I want to drop the aspiring because here I am. I'm creating content, so I must be a content creator. But honestly, I think at 55, I've got an interesting story, and God bless me, I'm confident with an ability to tell stories that seems to connect to an audience. And I'll talk about anxiety, or I'll talk about addiction, or I'll talk about parenting struggles, or I don't know, messy house, relationship issues. And I know we all go through our stuff. And so me just telling the stories of my stuff seems to connect with a lot of people. So that's what I do. Bex, the hilarious cat lady, thank you for following the live creator. I so appreciate that. I've been on TikTok just about 2 years. I'm growing various other social media platforms. And again, building up audiences as quickly as I can, and enjoying that process. And I think it's important to enjoy the process. I talk about it a lot. I used to join a gym because I wanted to have six pack abs or something like that. And it was really hard. It's really hard to achieve, get to the destination if you don't enjoy the journey. And I enjoy creating content. I enjoy going live. I enjoy editing videos. I enjoy staring at my phone and wondering if I got any new subscribers or how many people are watching any given video. So I enjoy the process, and I think if you learn to enjoy the process in life, no matter what you're doing, if you enjoy practicing golf, I'll bet you get a lot better at golf. If you enjoy running, you'll be a better runner. If you enjoy reading, you'll probably be a little smarter. And I bet you if you learn to enjoy changing diapers, you're going to be a great, great parent. No, actually, I don't mind changing diapers unless you got two poopies going. And again, I got two little ones. And I have one poopy moved and I'm be cleaning it up. You know how it goes. And then the other one wants to see what's in the other diaper. And it can be very chaotic. Can be very, very chaotic staying at home. So, yeah. So I don't know what I have for you today, but it's Saturday afternoon. And I feel great that my kids are asleep. I feel great that I got the baby gates up. I feel great that I got the dishes done. And I don't know, took a few steps forward and ate a couple bites of the elephant and got through a tough morning and hopefully have a couple hours of baby sleeping time ahead of me, because I tell you what, as a dad that loves his babies, when they're sleeping, they're even more adorable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to drink a little more coffee. Hey, Bex, thank you so much for getting involved and sending me an I see you. And Arlie, thank you for following the live creator. Arlie from New Hampshire, from North Conway, New Hampshire. New Hampshire's a state I know so little about. I know roughly where it is. I think I might be able to pick it out on a map. I think it's pretty small. I think, yeah, I don't even know. Are there hills there or mountains, or is it wooded? Is it city-like? I wonder. Hello, Gail Leonard. Thank you for joining in Big Red, Missouri. I so appreciate you guys all hopping on. If there's anybody new out there that hasn't subscribed to my page, I please would ask you to. I'm striving to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm at about 9,600, and it feels like I'm trying to run in sand. I don't know if you've ever done that. I used to be a pretty good runner, and I was on a vacation when I was 25 years old. Club Med had a great time, by the way. I went by myself, which seems like a bold move, but I think it was an awesome way to go. I think I'm good at meeting people and fairly outgoing. And I was 25 years old, and I wanted to take a trip. So I went to Turks and Caicos and enjoyed a Club Med and had a great time. And the very first night, they sit you down at a table with a bunch of people you don't know, and you go, "Hey, my name's Ken. How are you guys doing?" And I don't know, one thing leads to another, and you end up playing volleyball and drinking too much. And for my story, gambling too much at the casino that was down the way. But overall, having a great, great time. Oh, my point was, we did a little sporting event, a biathlon, like a quarter-mile swim and a mile run. And I thought I was going to dominate because I was a college runner. I was pretty fast. But I was never much of a swimmer. So we swam out in the ocean and then went around a buoy and came back. I mean, again, it was only a quarter mile. It wasn't that far. I don't even know if it was a quarter mile. Quarter mile sounds so horrifically far. But either way, it was enough to beat me down physically. And I got out of the water, and there was a guy ahead of me, and I thought I'd run him right down, but my legs could barely move. I might have gained a little bit, but it was hard. It was hard. I don't know where that story came from, but it allowed me to talk about going to Club Med and Turks and Caicos. That's amazing that was 30 years ago. Just amazing. Yeah. Did I ever smoke before running? No, I don't think that's a good idea. I definitely drank before running. I used to go out to the bars all the time, and I worked as a stockbroker. And one of my good friends was a stockbroker trainee at the time, and we both ran in high school and college. And we'd go out to bars and get pretty darn buzzed, and then go. And I think we did a 13-mile run one day, and I think it felt great after drinking, which seems surprising, but I'm pretty sure it did. It was, we were living in Chicago at the time and running down by the lake, and yeah, used to be cool, because we used to be fast. Running used to feel easy. I've been lifting weights for 6 months now, and I'm almost as strong as I've ever been. But I could barely run around the block right now. And it's amazing how much you use it if you don't use it. And that's why I feel good about being back in the gym and lifting weights 3 times a week and stretching and doing some yoga poses. I used to do yoga regularly, uh, you know, 4 or 5 days a week at a gym I belong to, and had kind of gotten away from that, but still really enjoy the feeling of a deep stretch. And I'll hold some deep yoga positions for a period of time before I start my workout and at the end. And I'll just tell you, it feels so, so good. So if anyone out there is thinking that they should start addressing any physical issues or get a little stronger or feel a little better, working out's a great way. But I'll tell you what got me through the morning, because I needed to feel a little better. Cleaning, I think, is the number one way for me to change my attitude around. Because you're feeling productive, your mind is occupied, you're not worried about tomorrow or a bill or a car trouble or fight you had with a girlfriend or whatever. You're cleaning, you're feeling productive, you're making the house look better, and you pretty quickly start feeling better about yourself and about life as a whole. So, again, it comes back to habits, and I talk a lot about habits. If you have a habit of cleaning every day, you're going to feel pretty good. If you see garbage on the street and you pick it up and you throw it in the garbage can, you're going to start feeling better about yourself over time. You shake a veteran's hand. That's a great thing to do, and they love it and makes me feel good, and I do that as often as I can. Look people in the eyes, say their name if they're wearing a name tag, and smile as often as you can. So I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. Anyway, it's 12:35. Yeah. Beck says cleaning's good because it's in your control. Yeah. Yeah, it was stressing me out. It was just one more problem in my life. And I couldn't fix most of the problems, but I had a pile of dishes and pans and nasty stuff. And I just went to it, and it only took, I don't know, 15 minutes. And suddenly my kitchen started looking a little better. And I built up some momentum and said, hey, I'm going to put up these baby gates. And then while I'm doing that, my stepson came up and made fun of my glasses. And I said, hey, stepson, if you could watch the babies for a little bit, I'll make you guys all pancakes for lunch. And suddenly that happened, and the kids were fed, and stepson and I got to hang out. Yeah. And all of a sudden my morning was over, and my kitchen was clean, and my babies were fed, and I got to hang out with my stepson a little bit, and the baby gates were up. And now I'm doing a live with you. And let me tell you, this morning I wasn't feeling good about a darn thing. So, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for joining me today. It's Saturday afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful start to your weekend. I hope you had a great night's sleep, a great week behind you. I hope you're feeling good. You're feeling content. Because I think it's easy to feel good, but it's hard to feel content a lot of times. And I think it's easy to feel awesome. You can go do drugs or alcohol if you want to feel awesome, but to be okay is a different feeling. And like I said, I've always had a lot of highs and lows, and it's nice if you can just get to being okay and being good and satisfying. So anyway. So I hope you're feeling content. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.